The Stockholm job a day of Audacity, the old city of Stockholm, was alive. Cobblestone streets bustled with tourists and locals, oblivious to the drama about to unfold. The target, Sweden's royal treasury, a fortress of tradition and security. Then silence. A power outage plunged the city into darkness. Sirens wailed in the distance as a chilling realization crept in. This was no ordinary blackout. Inside the treasury, chaos reigned. Guards, blinded and disoriented, struggled to maintain order. By the time backup arrived, the unthinkable had happened. The vault, home to priceless crown jewels, lay empty. The thieves were gone, vanished into the night as if they had dissolved into the very air. The world watched in astonishment as Swedish authorities launched a full-scale investigation. Whispers of a mastermind. The pattern emerges. As investigators delved deeper into the Stockholm heist, a chilling realization began to dawn. This was no isolated incident. Similar heists, each bearing the hallmark of meticulous planning and flawless execution, had been quietly taking place across Europe. Museums, private collections, even government facilities. None seemed beyond the reach of these phantom thieves. The targets were seemingly disparate, yet a pattern emerged. Each stolen artifact, from ancient Roman coins to Renaissance paintings, held immense historical and cultural value. The precision of the heists, the lack of forced entry, and the absence of any trace evidence all pointed towards a level of sophistication rarely seen in the criminal underworld. Speculation ran rampant. Some whispered of a shadowy organization, a modern-day league of extraordinary gentlemen thieves operating with impunity across borders. The lack of a clear suspect only fueled the flames of intrigue. The question was no longer who, but what was the grand plan behind these daring heists. The Rome connection art and Intrigue Collide. Rome, the eternal city steeped in history and overflowing with priceless artifacts, became the next stage for the unfolding drama. The target, the Borghese Gallery, home to masterpieces by Caravaggio, Bernini and Raphael. The world watched, holding its breath, as news broke of another impossible heist. Under the cloak of a moonless night, the thieves had infiltrated the gallery, bypassing its state-of-the-art security systems as if they were mere illusions. The objective: Caravaggio's masterpiece, Nativity with St. Francis and St. Lawrence. The audacity of the crime sent shockwaves through Italy and beyond. The authorities launched a frantic investigation, their every move scrutinized by a public hungry for answers. The pressure was immense, the stakes higher than ever. The eyes of the world were on Rome, watching, waiting for a break in the case. The theft of the Caravaggio was more than just another stolen masterpiece. It was a brazen statement, a challenge thrown at the feet of the world's intelligence agencies. The shadow network resources of a phantom. With each daring heist, the legend of the phantom thieves grew, as did the frustration of the authorities. The meticulous planning, the seamless execution, and the uncanny ability to vanish without a trace hinted at a vast, well-funded network operating in the shadows. Intelligence agencies across Europe found themselves drawn into a high-stakes game of cat and mouse. Leads were chased down blind alleys, informants offered cryptic clues that led nowhere. The resources at the thieves' disposal were as impressive as they were perplexing. They moved with ease across borders, utilizing forged documents, private jets, and a network of safe houses. The question was, who was the puppet master pulling the strings? The French connection, a nation on edge. The city of lights, Paris, renowned for its art, culture, and romance, became the next unsuspecting player in the grand heist saga. This time the target was not a museum or a gallery, but the heart of France's national identity, the French National Archives. The stolen prize original documents relating to the French Revolution, priceless relics of a tumultuous period that had shaped the nation's destiny. The theft sent shockwaves through French society, shaking the very foundations of their national identity. The documents were not merely historical artifacts, they were symbols of France's struggle for liberty, equality, and fraternity. The French government, under immense pressure to recover the stolen documents, spared no expense. The nation's best investigators, along with international experts, were called in, their every move followed by a public on edge. The media frenzy was relentless, fueled by speculation and conspiracy theories. The theft from the French National Archives marked a turning point in the narrative. The price of silence, governments in the dark. As the Phantom Thieves continued their campaign across Europe, a sense of unease settled upon the world stage. Governments, their pride wounded and their authority challenged, found themselves in a precarious position. The pressure to bring the perpetrators to justice was immense, yet the lack of progress was a constant source of embarrassment. Diplomatic channels usually reserved for matters of state were buzzing with frantic exchanges. Intelligence agencies sworn to secrecy shared what little information they had, their efforts hampered by a lack of trust and a shared sense of frustration. The thieves had an uncanny knack for exploiting the weaknesses inherent in any large bureaucratic system. They moved through the cracks of international cooperation, exploiting loopholes in jurisdiction and playing nations against each other. The question was, how long could this game of shadows continue before the stakes were raised once more? The motive unmasked a tangled web of desire. The world was captivated. Who were these masterminds operating with such precision and audacity? What drove them to target symbols of cultural heritage? The answer, when it finally emerged, was as complex and multifaceted as the heists themselves. The motive was a tapestry woven from threads of ideology, ambition, and a deep-seated resentment towards the established order. The legacy of the Phantom, a cultural earthquake. The impact of the Phantom Thieves campaign extended far beyond the stolen artifacts and the baffled authorities. Their audacious heists sparked a global conversation about cultural heritage, ownership, and the responsibility of institutions entrusted with preserving the past for future generations. Museums and galleries, once seen as bastions of knowledge and enlightenment, found themselves under intense scrutiny. Security measures were reviewed and strengthened, but the sense of vulnerability lingered. The public began to question the effectiveness of their safeguards. The thefts ignited a debate about the value of art and artifacts in a rapidly changing world. Justice versus morality, a question of perspective. The arrest of the mastermind and his accomplices brought a sense of relief to a world held captive by their audacious heists. The trial, a media spectacle broadcast globally, captivated millions. The world watched, eager to finally put a face to the enigma that had dominated headlines for months. The prosecution presented a compelling case, portraying the thieves as ruthless criminals motivated by greed. The defense argued that their clients were driven by a higher purpose, to expose the hypocrisy and corruption they believed infected the art world. The jury's verdict, guilty on all counts, was met with a mix of satisfaction and unease. Justice, it seemed, had been served. Yet a lingering question remained. Were these individuals truly criminals, or modern-day Robin Hoods challenging the established order? The game afoot, a legacy of mystery. Even with the mastermind behind bars, the story of the grand heists was far from over. Whispers persisted, rumors of stolen artifacts yet to be recovered, stashed away in secret locations around the world. The world of art and antiquities, forever marked by the Phantom Thieves' exploits, found itself grappling with a new reality. Trust was shattered, security measures were intensified, but the lingering question remained: could it happen again? The mastermind, incarcerated but unbroken, became a figure of fascination, his silence fueling speculation. Some believed he had orchestrated the entire operation from behind bars. The game, it seemed, was still afoot.